Hello, welcome back. It's been a long time, I know. Sorry. It's been a tough past couple of years since COVID started. Can't get nobody to work at my job, so been working 6 days a week, long hours. Got 4 kids on the side. Come home 2 every day, so getting time for videos is a little bit difficult sometimes without a "Hey Dad, what are you doing?" or running around screaming, interfering. So forgive me on my part for that, but I want to go over real quick. That way I ain't wasting your time. Friction calls. I got a signature series slate, and I have the Woodhagen's mahogany crystal. Kind of want to go over them real quick. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you, as the name says, non-pro outdoors, because I am no professional by any means. I just do these videos, kind of help some people out. And my motto is, you don't have to be a pro to be successful. And if I'd have started making videos years ago, I'd be living proof for you. But anyway, I want to start real quick by this one. This is a signature series slate. Spring Fever Custom Calls is the Matt Dale series. I didn't really get into friction calls till last year. I just always use mouth calls, and I did have a friction call, but it really hurt me one year because I was sitting here, striking. I was actually away from everybody practicing really what I was doing in the process of hunting. And believe it or not, I had 2 hens come up on me and a gobbler about 20 yards away, and I was stuck like this and couldn't move, and it ruined my hunt. So I just put friction calls aside and stuck with mouth calls solely. But I kind of wanted to be a jack of all trades, so I got back into it. And I just said, well, heck, I'm going to try this and try that. And that's kind of what I do, is just try new things and post them on here for to kind of decide what you'd rather do, reviews instead. But this is going to be backwards because I'm using a cell phone, because I am too cheap to buy a camera, because I don't plan on videos getting me anywhere, so there's no sense in spending bukus of money to do videos. But this will be mirrored, but it says Old Sly, and it is the Matt Dale's signature series. Now with slate calls, even same with glass. And this is actually a crystal, and I'll show you. You want to scuff these, and I don't know how well that camera picks this up, but if you look, it says mahogany crystal right here. If you look to the scuff marks, it is perfect. Well, not perfect, but it is straight side to side with the words. Reason being, if you look at it like that and you turn it straight around, it'll be backwards, but Woodhaven. You go with the grain of the wood with your crystal, glass, slate, copper, whatever. If you turn this straight around, spin it straight around, this is where you want to scuff it. With the grain, with the words, you want to find your center, straight side to side. You don't want to go in circles, up and down, strictly left to right. Now, with glass and crystal, you can use stone. Kind of looks like a wet rock, but you just, like I say, you take it. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it, but you just, bare minimum pressure, you just go straight side to side, and you do not want to go in circles, up and down, catty corner. Just take your time, lay it down, and make sure you're straight. Then it also makes these really rough pads. It's like a really strong grit sandpaper. If you feeling it probably feels like 60 grit. I mean, it's really gritty. But you can go over it with that as well. And you take a Scotch pad, same way, straight side to side. Now glass and crystal, you do that. Slate, I prefer. I've never tried the stone, and I don't know anybody that has, but slate, you just use Scotch. Just, again, you turn it around. Old Sly, Matt Dale, right here. Turn it straight around. I'm at the bottom, side to side. And me, preferably, I use the bottom of the call. I ain't gonna say you can't use the top, but I've always been showed and heard all my life, use the bottom. I'm going to use the one that came with this one from Spring Fever Custom Calls. A slate is really good, low pitch, or more of a glass and crystals high pitch. And I did just get this through the mail the other day. I tried to make a quick video, but I didn't like the way it sounded. I might not like the way it sounds on here. It sounded really high pitched, but the speaker on my phone was shot. I dropped it in the salt water. I got to go to the beach for the first time in 30-something years, so of course I'm rough on cell phones. But anyway, I'm going to show you a difference. This is where I drug the scotch, was left and right. I'm going to drag the striker left to right. Get further away, it might have a different, more realistic sound. Alright, now I'm going to go against the drag lines. And it should help with your purring, because if you drag it this way, kind of think of a plowed field. If you drive with the furries, you know it's going to be smooth. If you go against it, it's going to be rough. So therefore, if you drag it against the grain, it's going to drag and get you them really nice purrs. Hear the difference in the purrs? You go against it and there are more tighter vibrations to it. Now there will be a difference if you go center, if you scotch it compared to the bottom. The center is going to have more of a deeper sound, where the bottom will have, to me, a more high-pitched tone. I mean, you might be able to tell the difference over this junky phone, but I can in person. But like I said, I don't know how it sounds over the phone. Now, I am going to experiment with, because I haven't yet. Like I say, I just got this, so I'm not hoodooing nobody. I'm going to try a different striker. I'm going to go against the grain to start. Hear the difference at the bottom. Higher pitch. Go back to center. Me, it works better for me. Not everybody, but when I run my striker, I'm going against the grain, not with it. By the way, some people straight back and forth. Me, I go half moon circles. Okay, half moon circles. I get more of that backdrop, that yaw to it, instead of yep, 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 get yaw, yaw, yaw. Because when you drag it down in a circle and you go back up, it don't do nothing. So therefore, you're giving it that second two-tone sound when you drag your striker back around in that circular tone, or direction rather. Now, I'm going to use this crystal. I'm going to use the striker that came with it, which is, I think this is birch. I'm going to go against the grain. Remember, I ran it this way, but I want to go against the grain. hear the difference when you go with the grain when you're trying to purr. I mean, a whole lot of difference. It could be in the wood, or it could be where it's crystal. Like I say, I never really fooled with friction calls much. But the good thing is, me not doing that, I know it's good enough to call in turkeys because I've done it. And I've been successful at it. So, again, you don't have to be a pro to be successful. Now, I'm going to go in circles, like I mentioned before on the slate. And I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go towards the bottom. See how it's more high pitched towards the bottom than it is the middle? I kind of find that happy medium in between the top and the bottom. Now I'm going to use the striker that came with the spring fevers just to see. It actually sounds really good on there. Now I'm going to go back to the slate really quick while you got that tone in your head. I'm just rotating this a little bit at a time. I'm just kind of experimenting, rotating it, seeing if there's give me a different tones against the grain, with the grain, however. Just kind of experimenting with that. But like I say, I think the greatest video, I'm kind of just experimenting with this, so it's more true to me practicing and showing this to you, and it's sounding like a professional, and you get it, and it's not how I make it sound. So therefore, I'm just kind of being new at this myself, just giving you an idea of what it's going to be like for you if you've never used one, or if you want to try to use one. Now this, I did practice quite a bit with it last year, but that was a year, and me personally, if you do not use calls all the time, it is a degenerative skill. You forget things, you forget movements, muscle memory, a lot of things you forget. I've had to retrain myself using mouth calls, and I use them every year. But I have this handy little thing I want to share with you really quick before I cut this off. I ordered this last year, and I love this thing. It's my carry case. It actually holds 2 slates. I'm going to put these in here now just to show you. It'll hold 2 slates, or glass, or whatever. It'll hold 2 friction calls. And it has a really smooth zipper, even though it's not really quiet, but it's a really good, durable zipper from the feel of it. It's really stiff. And it has a slot for 2 strikers, and it is made to where it will not pull out the bottom. You really pull that thing, and you ain't got to worry about it falling back through. And it also has, I was thinking, a little pouch between the strikers. Right here, if you can see that. My stone on block, I can put that in there, which is, I don't know if I trust it or not, even though it's a tight fit. But I usually leave one of these pouches empty and just carry my Scotch pads and whatnot in there. I can't remember where I ordered this from, but I can find out. If you would like to know where I ordered this thing from, I would be glad to go back and search. I think it's only like $10, but it's got this quick clip on it. I put it on the front of my vest, so when I'm walking, I can just stop. I got my shotgun on a sling, and I can just unclip it and go from there. One thing I did not mention about glass I don't know about slate. I haven't experimented with it yet, but I do know for a fact if you do want to use glass or crystal, there is a downfall. And I'll show you what that is, and I found out the hard way. It is dry. It is dry. Alright, now, if you're on a rainy day, or it's really heavy dew, fog, whatever, let me show you something. I just wet that. Nothing. That's your downfall about glass and crystal. I don't know if slate is that way, but that is it's a really bad thing if you really solely rely on friction coils. But you can wipe it. And you're good to go again. But if you're bad for movement, that's going to be bad. What?
Is Luna allowed outside?